In Terraforming Mars, competing megacorporations transform the fourth planet from a lifeless, dusty red ball of rock into an environment capable of sustaining life. Similarly, in this episode, we're going to use the various metal and plastic resources at our disposal to transform this game's components and storage. Out-of-this-world upgrades for Terraforming Mars. Today, on the Component Proponent.
Saving your game from the mundane, the Component Proponent, yeah!
Hello and welcome to another installment of the Component Proponent, the series about upgrades and enhancements for board games in order to increase our immersion in the board gaming experience and also to just have a little bit of fun. Now, as always, several of the upgrades featured in this episode were provided by sponsor and friend of the show, TopShelfGamer.com, who specializes in board game components and upgrades. Links to Top Shelf Gamer and the components that they provided will be included in this video's description. Now, if you're new to Terraforming Mars, let us first set the stage with a brief overview of what this game is all about. In Terraforming Mars, players will be cultivating resources such as metals, plants, and energy to place tiles on the planet's surface that adjust its environment, temperature, and oxygen levels in order to support human life. This will be accomplished through careful resource management, synergetic tile placement, and strategic card play. Now, while all of the players will work together to terraform Mars, only one player's corporation will do it the best, and thus secure the rights to all future terraforming contracts, winning the game. Now, additionally, before we go any further, I want to let you know that the copy of Terraforming Mars that we will be using in today's video was generously lent to me by my good friend and fellow member of my local game club, Eric. So, thank you, Eric, for graciously allowing me to borrow your copy of this game for my demonstration purposes today. Sure, we'll be fine. Now, as mentioned, card play is a fundamental element of Terraforming Mars. The cards you play determine the strategy that your corporation will be able to take. So it's understandable that players may wish to protect the game's cards with card sleeves. And fortunately, these are standard card sleeves in Terraforming Mars, so regular-sized ones measuring in at 63.5 millimeter by 88 millimeters will do the trick perfectly. And that's good, because you're going to need a few of these sleeves, because this game has over 200 cards, and typically each card sleeve is designed to hold just one card. Yeah. Now, in addition to protecting the cards, you're also going to need a way to store them between games. And as big a fan as I am of just storing my cards on a shelf in the garage next to a half-empty bottle of motor oil, perhaps a more preferable way to store big, oily piles of cards is in acrylic deck boxes, such as this clear plastic deck box from UltraPro. UltraPro sells an acrylic deck box that's designed to hold 250 cards. Of course, if you sleeve your game's cards, additional storage boxes still may be needed, as the sleeves increase the card's thickness to the point where they may not all fit into a single deck box, no matter how much motor oil you use to grease them up with. But you know what? Regardless of how many acrylic deck boxes end up being necessary, I for one cannot get enough of storing things inside of containers. It's like a component sandwich inside your box. The only thing better would be a real sandwich inside your box.
That's a good borrowed copy of Terraforming Mars right there, that is.
And it's also why the next upgrade is an acrylic overlay for the player boards. The player boards in Terraforming Mars are fantastic. Nearly. They do provide players with a way to track the production of the resources that they're developing. However, unlike Scythe, which uses notched player boards to hold its cubes and meeples in place, the Terraforming Mars player boards are simply flat, like the planet Earth. And that's why my first suggestion for helping prevent your precious pieces from just flying off the flat surface of the player boards is this character board overlay by Board Game Innovation. Overlays, such as this, help keep your pieces in place while playing, and this one is made from 3mm thick clear cast acrylic and contains cutouts for the resources and production pieces. Now, the overlays that I found made by Board Game Innovation were specifically designed to be just one-sided and sit on top of the character boards. Why not have them be two-sided and sandwich the character board between the acrylic like a sandwich? Well, they addressed this question in a FAQ on their website, stating that there are several reasons why their boards are designed this way. First, they state that if the overlay is not tight enough, the printed mat between them will move around and the two layers will rub against each other, potentially affecting the quality of the artwork. Additionally, spills and crumbs may become trapped between the two sides of a two-piece overlay, causing warping or additional damage to the game components that are contained inside. Well, yikes! After reading Board Game Innovation's extensive list of cautions, warning against the dangers of two-piece character board overlays, I knew that I simply just had to throw caution to the wind and risk permanently damaging this copy of the game in order to see for myself if this was true. So, for this risky experiment, I selected these two-sided character board overlays by Board Game Boost. These snap together and stay together pretty well, even without glue, tape, or trying to melt them together with a Bic lighter. Because trying it will singe the paper inside long before these suckers melt together. Alright, so far we have discussed storage devices for the game's cards and player boards. But what about storage of the game's dozens and dozens of little cubes and tiles? Now, even before beginning my extensive research into this episode, I received from viewers suggestions for several different Terraforming Mars inserts, such as Kelly T, who recommended turning an egg carton into a makeshift storage solution. As you can see, there's a compartment for each individual type of component, it's recyclable, and it demonstrates why I've blocked further emails from Kelly. I also received a note from a viewer named Eric, who had two questions. The first asked if I could return his copy of the game, and the second question was about something that I actually had considered doing, and that is storing the game's cubes in a Plano box. Specifically, Plano Box Model 3500, which provides 9 compartments, each large enough to contain one of the different types of cube resources used in the game. And better yet, additional Plano Box suggestions can be found on a BGG Geek list that lists which models of Plano boxes are recommended for all sorts of different board games. And BGG user Juan and Only actually recommends a plastic craft supplies box he got from Michael's craft store instead of a Plano box. And based on your excellent suggestion, there's no need for this lousy Plano Box Model 3500 anymore. But Plano boxes are just one way to prevent the components from spilling around inside the box as you rotate it just haphazardly this way and that for demonstration purposes. To further protect your bits and pieces from helpful demonstrators like me, the next logical step is an insert. So let's take a look at 2 inserts for Terraforming Mars. The first of which is a foam core insert produced by Insert Here. This storage system is composed of 9 trays, and it's designed to hold not only sleeved cards, but also either version of the player board acrylic overlays that we've discussed. One of the insert's trays holds all the cards, another holds the currency cubes along with the special tiles, and one tray holds the remaining tiles, while a final tray, yes, there's even one more tray hiding in here, and it holds the remaining miscellaneous components. And I just know Eric would have loved all of those compartments if I hadn't stepped on his. But no matter, because there is another insert that we can take a look at for Terraforming Mars, and this one comes from the Broken Token. This insert is, oh my goodness, this insert is mammoth. This is a serious insert. While assembly of this insert will most assuredly take some time, once assembled, it's designed to help reduce the game's setup time. Something that helps players to start gaming faster is its system of removable trays. There's 5 player board replacements with built-in resource trays, 2 removable resource trays, and a special tile tray. Additionally, cards, sleeved or not, can be organized in a removable card shoe ready for drawing and discarding. And much better than the literal shoe that I've been keeping Eric's cards in prior to this. The Broken Token insert also includes an upgraded Rocket first player token and replacement acrylic generation, temperature, and oxygen markers. They didn't have to do that, but they did. And it's not even my birthday. So there's an insert that not only stores the game's pieces, but includes some extra pieces to boot. Consequently, 2 boots is also not a wise card storage solution. Now, let's continue focusing our attention on the rest of the game's components to see how we can upgrade them as well. For example, a large portion of the game is cube-based. Cubes represent your color markers, mark the status of the temperature and oxygen tracks, and represent the resources that you develop on your player board. Now, the cubes that are included with the game may look like metal, but that's a lie. They're actually metallic-looking plastic, and that actually wouldn't be that bad. I mean, we've all lived with bigger lies than that. I mean, heck, even Eric, he has his own secrets too. Like how he was actually named Rutherford before being placed into the witness relocation program last year after he exposed all those members of the Bulgarian mafia who swore that they would hunt him down and exact their revenge on him no matter where he tried to hide. Yeah. But anyway, hang on. Emergency text message from Eric. Sorry, Eric. Can't talk right now. Filming a video. Could not send message. Recipient no longer available. That's weird. Sure, it'll all work itself out. Where was I? While these plastic cubes won't doom one to disappear suspiciously in the Bulgarian countryside, they have been known to start flaking. And that's almost as bad if you ask me. Unfortunately, there's a simple solution in the form of these metal cubes. There's even oversized gold ingots available to stand in for the oversized gold cubes. Now that is metal! And just what is it that all of these cubes are trying to help you construct? Well, that would be the various oceans, forests, and cities represented by their corresponding map tile. And they're nice, but another way to spice up the look of your Martian map is by replacing the cardboard counters with semi-transparent green, blue, and gray plastic hexes. And, oh wait, there's more. If you want to make Noctis City, the capital, or other cities even spicier, that can be done by adding a dash of these Terraforming Mars hex tiles. These packs include 4 very cool plastic molded city hexes. There's a space igloo, 2 twin cities, and a nuclear power plant. Because if it's one thing that a freshly terraformed virgin planet needs, it's barrels of radioactive uranium-235 littering the Martian landscape. But yes, as cool and available for purchase that these tiles are, wait until you see some of the custom upgrades created by members of the gaming community. While doing research on this video, I discovered several different custom planet tiles made from members of the board game community using a variety of materials, including Fimo, found items, and 3D printed pieces. Other gamers have created custom player boards out of wood, plastic, and, in at least one case, even Legos. And that's pretty cool. But the piece de resistance of custom-made component upgrades has to be this wooden board created and posted by Ian Z on Board Game Geek. This wooden board and all of the homemade components showcased in this section are great examples of gamer ingenuity. They are something that any gamer can appreciate, which is why I was going to show some pictures to Eric, but my texts keep bouncing back. So, whether you invest in the Terraforming Mars upgrades featured in this video or just build your own, I hope that all of these things have given you some ideas for customizing your copy of the game. And special thanks to my friend Eric for letting me borrow his copy of the game for this video. And if there's a game out there that you think is worth talking about, well, let me know about it either in the comments below or at components@pairofdiceparadise.com. I welcome your suggestions and may even feature them in an upcoming episode. But in the meantime, I need to scroll my teleprompter because it's not scrolling for me, and I want to let you know that for more board game news, reviews, and commentary, be sure to subscribe to this Pair of Dice Paradise YouTube channel, and remember that videos like this are made possible by viewers like you who have been financially supporting Pair of Dice Paradise's Pod Pledge fundraising campaign. Thank you for your support, it does help, and it is greatly appreciated. Till next time, I've been Chaz Marler, your Component Proponent.
That's good sandwich. That's good Eric's box. That's good cop. That Mars right there. That is. That's good borrowed. That's good. That's good borrowed copy of Terraforming Mars right there. That is. Tell it out.